Good evening and welcome to Bridgewater Rainham Regional High School for this Division II quarterfinal matchup between the 6th-seeded Billerica Memorial Indians and the 3-seed, the BR Trojans. John Luck, Zach Sylvia here with you. Bridgewater Rainham coming off of a convincing victory last week against Woburn, a game where the depth of the BR Trojans really shines, especially in the case of Adrian Peebles.
Peebles last week, 14 carries, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns, a very impressive day from the junior, especially with one of their starting running backs, Lewis, not being in the game.
Yeah, Braden Lewis out again, considered day-to-day, so it looks like Peebles is going to be getting a bulk of the carries if they do go to the running game, but let's say they go to the passing game, they're certainly covered with the likes of a Caden Blake or a Finn Kelly or even a Dylan Reed.
And it all starts with the quarterback, Jack Lambert, 11 of 14, 245 through the air, 4 touchdowns. And Blake, another one of their receiving leaders, 3 catches, 99 yards, and 2 of those touchdowns. BR's offense was clicking last week.
And we talked a little bit about it last week, in the end of the second quarter, start of the third quarter. How do you plan for the BR Trojans offense? Because if Jack Lambert really is clicking, and he's had stretches where he's perfect through 9 or 10 passing attempts, how do you plan for the BR passing game?
It's tough, especially BR does very well against the zone defense. We've seen that a lot this year. You could go to man, but then Reed can beat you with his speed, and it's just very tough to cover this BR offense in total.
Let's talk about Billerica for a second. They are seeking their first state semifinal appearance since 2021. They shut out Beverly last week in their first-round matchup, a game that took a little while to get going. Scoreless at the half, but Eric Knight took over 17 carries, 106 yards. This almost looks like a squad in Billerica comparable to BR, where they can balance that passing attack as well as keep things going on the ground.
Especially, yeah. Billerica last week, and obviously with the 17 carries, a lot of chewing the clock. It was a very low-scoring game. They were able to shut out their opponents, and their defense, I believe we talked about it earlier, 3 sacks. So this Billerica defense could provide problems for this BR offensive line.
This Indians defensive front could be problematic for Jack Lambert, who really was untouched against Woburn, a game that he only played a couple minutes into the third quarter because that's just the way the scoreboard unfolded. Bridgewater Rainham seeking their first state semifinal appearance since 2017. We talked about that last week. That was a game they lost to King Philip 29-19. When we talk about athletes' mindset coming into the game here on both sides, obviously, it's a playoff game. How are emotions going to be for some of these players? Because this is now the second playoff game. Do they come down a little bit, or do you think maybe at the start they're going to go up because this is a round of 8 matchup?
Well, there's one word I love, John, and that's called momentum. And each of these teams are coming in with a lot of momentum. And if you're talking about the team with more momentum right now, it is Bridgewater. And we had a running clock earlier in the third quarter. For these teams, you come to this game, once again, you start 0-0. This is a whole new season for Bridgewater. I'd say this is really where their playoffs start.
You see the 6th seed Billerica coming out. They are led by their head coach in his first season. That's Sean Theriot. He took over for Dwayne Sigsbury, who coached for 11 seasons, but a couple of coaches here who are kind of adapting to their relatively new squad. Ian Bain in his second season as BR head coach, as you can hear Red Nation getting loud, getting ready to welcome in their 3-seed, the BR Trojans, who come into the regional seeking a 7th victory on the season. Led by Jamison Billerica and Caden Blake with the flags. I want to welcome all of our viewers joining us live on YouTube, both in Billerica and Bridgewater Rainham. We have a live chat going. I think it was about 20 minutes before we came on the air. We had a couple of Let's Go BR, Let's Go Billerica. So we'll see how that goes as the night goes on. But I mentioned Ian Bain taking over for Lou Pacheco a couple years ago, and a lot of people talked about Ian Bain turning around the Franklin program. They had some rough years. He turned them around, and back-to-back 7-win seasons, much like Bridgewater Rainham trying to do here. They had a few rough seasons under Lou Pacheco, but Ian Bain took over. They had 6 wins a year ago, and as I mentioned, they're seeking their 7th win of the season. You You'd have to go all the way back to 2017 again when they had more wins. That was 10. And things were clicking there, but I'm trying to think back about some of the prior BR Trojans football teams, and they didn't really have the passing depth that I think Jack Lambert has to play with here. Last week in the first half, the BR Trojans had 4 receivers get at least 1 reception. As you see, both teams out at midfield on a relatively cool night. Not a lot of wind to speak of, unlike last week where we had papers flying everywhere, tape flying everywhere. Looks like we have a reading of 38 degrees, and we'll dip down into the mid-30s by the end of the game. But again, mostly clear skies. Knock on wood, we've had good weather all season here at the regional. So Billerica has won the toss. They will receive. And we saw Woburn try this last week. But I feel like as a visiting team, you want to come out here and have that momentum you were talking about early on. So if Billerica can come out here and get that early score, perhaps that is what the Indians need to start up on defense, taking on the BR offense.
Especially you come into this game, it's an away game, you're in a hostile environment, and if you want to punch them in the mouth early on, kind of shake up that emotion a little bit, kind of the unexpected. But if you're BR, you need to come out as you did last week against Woburn. You need to get a stop, a turnover, anything that would help this offense get clicking right away.
As you see the coaching staff with their last-minute adjustments for their respective teams, we are going to step aside for a moment here for the playing of our national anthem, thanks to the BR Trojans Marching Band.
To stand and remove all headgear and hats in recognition of the playing of the national anthem, being played this evening by your Bridgewater Rainham Marching Band.
Billerica and Bridgewater Rainham trying to play to take part in the Division II Final Four. We can tell you that the only guarantee we have is that this is going to be BR's final home playoff game, as regardless of who wins, it will be taking place on a neutral field coming up next week. Of course, the Trojans will be hosting Thanksgiving morning against the Brockton Boxers, but right now it's all about the Division II tournament. As you see, Jillian Allen, who had herself a great night last week, 6 for 6 on PAT attempts. The road to the semifinal starts now, end over end. Into the hands of the Indians and taken down just across the 35-yard line, thanks to number 41, Jake Spear, and that was number 14, Daniel Venezia, taking it back.
Indians will start first and 10 from their 35-yard line.
As we see the Indians offense coming out here, as we mentioned, a very talented team, especially on the ground. Mentioned Derek Knight last week, 17 carries, 106 yards. Looks like starting quarterback's going to be number 2, Timothy Murphy. With a man in motion, fake the sweep, takes it himself, and will get pushed back behind the line of scrimmage. Joseph Lafleur leading the charge.
Billerica trying to go a little misdirection, little fake halfback toss, quarterback keeper. 4 Bridgewater players right there, not fooled whatsoever.
Second down, 2nd and 12.
They have Murphy listed as a defensive back and a wide receiver, but starting this game at the quarterback position, and he's truly been a do-it-all type of player at Billerica. We'll get more into that as the game goes on. As a quick handoff behind the line of scrimmage, nothing going there. Carry taken, it looks like, by number 14, again, Venezia.
They go right back to that same play. This time they actually pitch it. They're running a 3-back set out of the backfield. And once again, BR not giving up any space. We saw this last week. They didn't give up much on the ground game.
A 2-yard gain for Venezia, so it brings it back to the original line of scrimmage. Last week, BR allowing Woburn 3 for 7 on 3rd down, and all those conversions took place in the second half when all the reserves were in. A big 3rd down as the Trojans faithful getting behind their team. Quick pitch and a double pitch, and BR didn't bite on that one. Nick Rotondo had that scouted out.
A little bit of trickery here from Billerica, the double pitch and then the handoff. And BR's defense, nice job here on the first drive, especially what you wanted to see. Come out, force them into a 3-and-out, and now your offense has a chance to put up points first.
So perhaps a nightmare scenario for Sean Theriault. I was hoping he was going to get a quick jump on offense, but an early 3-and-out and really nothing going for the Indians early on. And a downright ugly kick that goes out of bounds as one of the players goes into the BR sideline. And the Trojans will take over just over midfield at the Billerica 49-yard line. And that's where we'll see Jack Lambert come out. And it was Jackson Guerin that was kicking the ball away, and looked like he was trying to avoid some pressure before that.
More of a rugby-style kick, running off to his right before getting it off.
So again, the Trojans enter tonight's game without Braden Lewis. Adrian Peebles, the motion man. Kelly moves to join the offensive line. First play on offense for the Trojans. The handoff goes to Peebles, who will make his way to the 45-yard line for about a 4-yard gain for the junior running back.
It's a great play. See Blake leading the charge there. Peebles last week, I believe, averaged over 7 yards a carry. So looking to put up the very similar numbers here today.
For a while, he was averaging about 12 yards a carry. So off the 4-yard gain, brings up a 2nd and 6. Billerica and Kelly on the near side. Blake and Reed on the far side for the 2nd down. Again, going with the ground game, and Peebles goes to the near side, sidestepping defenders, tripped up at the 31-yard line to move the chains.
This play was supposed to go off to the right, but it looked more of a counter run right there. Receivers do a nice job on the near side, coming back and blocking defenders. He was 1 tackle away from breaking a big one there.
Adrian Peebles, very talented on both sides of the ball. We've seen him on offense over the past couple weeks, but has played some very nice linebacking play as well. And he'll get the handoff again as he'll get sandwiched right around the 26-yard line. Looks like number 6, Brandon Santos, involved on the tackle.
Once again, 3 straight runs. It was good blocking initially. And that actually looked to be Jackson Guerin on the big hit right there.
It'll be 2nd and 5.
Peebles already 3 carries for 23 yards. Taking the handoff, and that pass is complete to Billerica along the sideline. Stepped out of bounds right around the 18, 19-yard line, but still good enough for a new set of downs.
And this is what we've seen so far. The first pass of the game, BR looking to mix it up a little bit more here. You can see he steps out right around that 18-yard mark.
So 7-yard gain as a quick handoff goes to Peebles on the near sideline at the 17, so picks up a couple yards or so.
BR going up-tempo offense, and again, we did see this last week against Woburn, especially this deep into enemy territory.
Again, last week, Peebles 151 rushing yards along with 2 touchdowns, and an early night as the starters were pulled a couple minutes into the third quarter. That pass is complete to Reed, who goes across the 15, bounces off a couple of defenders, still on his feet, but he's going to be out of bounds at the 5.
For a minute there, I don't know if you thought this, but I thought he was in. There's a quick wide receiver screen, great blocking on the edge. And I don't think his foot ever touched.
Stick with the ground game this time. Go to Peebles, and he'll pick up a couple on the play right around the 2-yard line. So credit him for about a 4-yard gain.
The game plan here early is pretty simple. Handoff to Peebles. See what he can do.
He gets the handoff, and he'll be stopped just outside the goal line. So add another one to his total. Already the 6th carry of his night.
Third and goal from the 1. First left tackle number 41, Jaden Montijo.
Number 41, Jaden Montijo, credited with the stop and keeping Peebles out of bounds, or excuse me, out of the end zone for the moment. Third and goal for Bridgewater Rainham in this quarterfinal matchup. Handoff goes to Peebles, and was he in? Yeah, he is. Adrian Peebles has been getting it done this entire drive.
I believe that was his 7th carry of the day, and it's great push-up. Billerica does a nice job breaking through the line, but you can see he just falls over right into the end zone. And if this is BR, that's exactly what you wanted. Just forcing a stop on defense and going right down the field and scoring.
High snap, but the kick is good. Adrian Peebles on that drive, 7 carries, 32 yards, but most importantly, a rushing touchdown to put the Bridgewater Rainham Trojans in front 7-0 with 5:49 to go here in the first quarter. This isn't the first time these two teams met. They actually met 20 years ago. And you want to talk about a low-scoring game. How about 8-6, the final in overtime? And they were actually scoreless at the end of regulation.
Those scores are mostly unheard of here today, especially.
It's hard to think about what those games were like. I called a couple of those. I think it was 7-0, the lowest scoring game I saw here at the regional. As Billerica is going to go back on offense after a nice return here across the 40-yard line to the 43. That was Timothy Murphy on the return. And Murphy, a very interesting story here, seeking his 3rd championship this calendar year in high school sports after recovering from a torn PCL and MCL that he suffered last season. He played on the hockey team this year as well as the boys lacrosse team. Both those squads won a championship, obviously looking to help this Billerica squad earn another championship. So that's a pretty good year, I think, for one player, especially after bouncing back from an injury.
I'd say so.
As now he's playing the quarterback position for Billerica. Pitch to the near side and picking up a couple of positive yards. That was Daniel Venezia to the near side before he got wrapped up and pulled out of bounds at the 46, 47-yard line. Pushed out by Cam Knudsen.
That was great pursuit from Knudsen from the opposite side. He came all the way across field to make that tackle.
And we told you at the start of the broadcast here, Billerica had a difficult time getting the offense going last week against Beverly, a scoreless game at the half. They went 3 and out their last offensive drive, and a keeper here, it looks like by Murphy, that'll pick up about a yard or so.
Colin Pauline right there with the stop.
How about this Trojans defensive line here, keeping the rushing attack at bay?
I know we talked about it earlier. Billerica, very run-heavy team, likes to chew that clock.
Billerica looking to convert here. The pitch goes to the back and chugging those feet along across the 45 to the 43-yard line as this rugby scrum continues. That was number 14, Daniel Venezia.
Big push by the Indian offense. First down, Indians.
That is an unbelievable play. Just gets all the push up front. Initially gets stuffed, but the offensive line for Billerica coming up right from behind pushes that pile. What an effort there from Billerica's offense.
A 9-yard gain after all of that. Almost looked like the Travion Henderson running play, the first touchdown for the Patriots last night. Same formation for the Indians, and they get a pitch here across the 40 and pull down. That'll be to number 13, Jacob Peck.
Carried by number 44, Mark Luther. Stop first by number 9, Drew Sylvia. Second down, 2nd and 5.
So Peck will pick up about 5 on the play.
Finally see Billerica's offense starting to pick up a little bit on the ground game. Still have yet to throw the ball.
Again, they go with the short pitch, this time into Guerin's hands, and he'll pick up a couple to the 36-yard line.
First to the ball, number 20. Third down, 3rd and 3. Bridgewater Rainier fans, third.
So far, the Indians' rushing attack, 8 carries for 18 yards.
You would think so far, only averaging about 2.25 yards a carry.
Can they go with Spearin? And he'll go absolutely nowhere except down to the turf thanks to Rotondo.
Billerica's offense had been getting going.
This almost has the feel of what New Bedford played like, the same formation, a tight bunch formation, and just running it straight up the middle. Obviously, there were a couple that went off tackle, but still, it kind of feels like that throwback offense.
It is a very unique offense. I've seen 3 running backs in the backfield.
Billerica really in no man's land here, so no choice but to go for it inside the final minute of this opening quarter in the D2 quarterfinal. And the first passing attempt is gonna be knocked away thanks to Kent Knudsen. Murphy rolled out, but incomplete, intended for Gearin on the near sideline.
Billerica finally going to the pass. Just a waggle, just a roll out. Knudsen does a nice job getting his hands in between the receiver. Great job there from Knudsen, textbook.
You could see most of the BR sideline. They were kind of nervous about a potential flag coming out, but nothing going there. So a turnover on downs. Now Ian Bain's offense will take to the field after a tidy touchdown run, capped off by Adrian Peebles, who took it in from 1 yard out. Dylan Reed joins the backfield, gets the carry here on first down, and he'll pick up a couple to the 40-yard line. I think that might be the first time we called Dylan Reed as a runner.
See, Peebles just leading the charge right there. He wanted to get outside. Good job there by Billerica. It looked like Jacob Peck setting the edge on that one, forcing Reed back inside. Exactly what you want to do.
And that will be the final play of this first quarter. The BR Trojans in front 7-0 thanks to Adrian Peebles, who's been taking this game over. On his 7th carry of the night, took it in from 1 yard out. Continuing on with his talented postseason here. And stepping in for Braden Lewis, who's still day-to-day with an issue, but still that depth that we were talking about at the start, really coming in crunch time here for the BR Trojans in postseason play with a chance at the Final Four on the line in Division II.
Indeed so, and we've seen Peebles right now be considered a bell cow back, getting a majority of the carries, if not all of them, and it's worked so far. Billerica did do a nice job, as BR did score 21 in the first quarter last week, so a 7-0 lead is exactly what you want for BR. 2 defensive stops on your first offensive drive, going right down the field. Now you look up to go 2 scores.
And Peebles, 7 carries, 32 yards in that first quarter. And he joins his quarterback Lambert in the backfield. Gets the carry to open up the second quarter and got tripped up behind the line of scrimmage by number 55, Tyler Wilcox. But still picked up about a yard on the play.
He wanted the edge there. Wilcox doing a nice job once again setting the edge. And that's what has so far impressed me from this Billerica defense. They've done a nice job not allowing anything outside, trying to keep everything in the middle.
So a 3rd and long here facing the BR Trojans. Jack Lambert, 2 for 2 in the first quarter, passing for 18 yards. And we get a timeout with 11:20 remaining here in the first half by Ian Bain's BR Trojans.
Bain most likely seeing something that he didn't like from that Billerica defense. And we've seen this a couple times this year, Bain calling a timeout right before a play, making that adjustment to the defense.
And Ian Bain, his 2nd season as the head coach of the BR Trojans, after turning around the Franklin High School football team. Looking to do the same here at the regional, looking to lead them to their first 7-win season in the last 8 years. Very interesting tonight. All 4 Division II quarterfinals taking place around the same time. The only difference is Lincoln Sudbury Winchester, that game starting at 6:30, but the other 3 matchups, including this one, starting at 6 o'clock. As we get back to action here, a 3rd and long. Lambert completes to Peebles on the near sideline into Billerica territory as he lowered the shoulder into Brandon Santos, but still without move the chains.
This is a design wheel route out of the backfield for Peebles. Great catch and run there as he's lowering the shoulder, not afraid of the contact.
13-yard pickup. They stick with Peebles again. This time goes to the far side as a flag comes into play. Peebles will be stopped at the 33-yard line for the moment.
This one might be coming back, John.
And you are correct. So the first flag of the night goes on the BR Trojans.
It's a great outside run from Peebles. And we see it there. I believe it was, looked to be on Lakey and Isabel, number 55.
Trojans first and 14.
Trojans had a pretty clean game last week. They'll give it back to Peebles, gets into Billerica territory, and he goes across the 40-yard line to the 39. And just like that, almost earning back all that lost yardage.
Making that yards up and more. Peebles, great cutback to the inside. Said before, Billerica forcing Peebles back inside, doing a nice job setting that edge. That time, bites him in the dust.
So Peebles' last 2 carries for 28 yards. As again, the junior running back joins Lambert in the backfield. And gets the handoff on second down to get the first down and slid down, it looks like, at the 31, or tried to avoid some type of tackle there.
Peebles had an opportunity to get some more. Great push out block there from Cransley Alexis. It looked like he just slipped.
Gotta give it to Peebles here as he stayed out on the field on offense this entire game so far. This is the second offensive drive for the BR Trojans. They stick with 23, who goes across the 30, this time to the 29-yard line for about a 3-yard gain. But again, those short yard gains, you know, on the stat situation, it's not impressive, but still, you're slowly eating away at the defensive line of the Billerica Indians.
Indeed so, and I mean, if you're only averaging about 4 yards a carry, you're still getting first down after 3 plays. And you wonder now, with all these runs from Peebles, you wonder if BR's looking to set something up out of the play action.
Almost looks like what they had with Braden Lewis in one of the first games of the season. This time Lambert going to throw, as you said, across the middle to Jamison Billerica. Got across the 20 to the 19-yard line, and Zach Radamas over here had that one scouted out.
Going right back to the middle, you go with Peebles. After about 5 straight plays, you go right to the throw, right in the middle on a 10-yard dig, right to the inside. A nice job by this offense, mixing it up, not allowing Billerica to settle in.
Billerica's second reception of the game, now up to 17 yards. Lambert now 3 for 3 with 28 passing yards on the night. Looking to add on here. Going for the end zone, going deep. That is gonna be caught. Dylan Reed making an impact here in the quarterfinal. 19-yard reception for the senior receiver.
Reed had his man beat from the step. And when you're in open field, good luck covering number 4. Immediately beats him. Great concentration in the back of the end zone, able to get his body down and in for another BR touchdown.
Jillian Allen on for the PAT. She's 2 for 2. With 7:59 to go in the first half, BR up 14-0. And I could be crazy here, but all of Bridgewater Rainham's offensive plays have been positive plays. You look at the other side for Billerica, 2 plays were for negative yardage. Those were rushing plays, but looks like Ian Bain's offense has come to play here in the quarterfinal.
And while their offense hasn't had as many opportunities as it did last week, 2-2 on the day so far, finding the end zone on both of their offensive drives. Defense also helping them out in that aspect. It's been a very impressive day for both sides of the ball for the Trojans.
As you mentioned, that defensive line has been something else for the BR Trojans this postseason. As that's a low line kick that bounces around at the 25, but still picked up and brought back, or I should say they're going to call him down at the 25. That was brought back by number 6, Brandon Santos, who he may have had his knee down as he initially picked it up.
And that looked to be a design squib kick. We saw it from the first 2 returns, good yardage, and the last one going all the way almost to midfield. So you wonder if Allen intentionally squibbed that one to not give those returners a chance.
Well, we saw last week when Woburn kicked off to open the second half, they started with a onside kick. Of course, they ended the game with a field goal attempt down 42-14. But Billerica takes over here with 7:56 to go, and for the first time, the Indians offense going to spread out now. Murphy playing out of the shotgun. And a handoff goes to number 13, Jacob Peck.
Rotundo not fooled on that receiver run. See the man coming in motion. Rotundo comes right off the edge. Somebody missed an assignment there because he came free on that tackle.
The third negative play for Billerica on offense here, and that was a loss of about 6 on the play. Again, Billerica having a hard time getting anything to really click here on offense early on.
As you see, they go right back to that, starting with the 3-back set and then going right back to shotgun.
Peck again, the motion man as he goes across. And this will be a QB keep this time by Murphy. Gets across to 20 trying to find the open edge, but instead gets pushed out of bounds by Caden Barnard.
Murphy took a hard hit on that sideline. Gets up slowly as you can see him limping towards the sideline. With them going right back to the same play, receiver in motion, faking the handoff. As a quarterback keeper, and it's great pursuit there from Bernard. And now it's a 3rd and long situation again for Billerica.
As you mentioned here, you're going to ask your quarterback, who came up a little lame on that ankle there, to potentially throw the ball. But so far we've seen 1 passing attempt by Tim Murphy in this game, and that was incomplete. And you can see him looking back to the line of scrimmage here, back into the shotgun. Inside 7 minutes to go as he rolls to his right, and he'll complete that one across the 25, and getting pushed out just shy of the first down marker. Pass completed to Mark Luther, so that'll get spotted about a yard or so shy of the first down marker.
We saw them try this earlier with the pass, just a simple rollout concept.
And a flag on the play. So it looks like this is going to be going on the Indians here.
Looks like a block in the back on Jackson Gearin. It's a good pass, wide open. You can see there right on Rotundo, clear as day. But it looks, they said number 3. That one was actually on Daniel Benzia.
So 3rd and 11 here. And we had a new player at the quarterback position, but still same result, as that was taken by 14, Dan Venezia.
This is a wildcat formation here. Drops back 1 step, goes right up the middle, trying to follow his blockers. Great tackle there from Christian Creed, coming from the linebacker spot.
So it got kind of dicey there for a moment, but Billerica going to be forced to punt here inside of 6 minutes to go in the first half. Again, after a short run, that one a little better than the previous punt, but still with a flag coming in. That was Knutson with the recovery, but we'll wait to see what this flag is going to be here with 5:36 to go in the second.
If I'm being honest, I believe this one might be going against BR.
Bingo.
See it there. Great tackle, great wrap up from Braden Santos.
Calls holding on the Trojans will move the ball back, started from the.
So the Trojans, it looks like, will be set back inside their own 35-yard line, back to the 26.
I believe this is their worst starting field position today.
At this point, it is worth pointing out that the Trojans will start out on offense for the second half, but right now on this drive, it's going to be Peebles getting things started. The ball came loose. Was he down is the question.
They're calling him down. But no, they called it a turnover. You see here on the run, Peebles does a nice job getting upfield. Tripped up. It's tough to tell whether that ball was loose before he hit the ground, but referees give it.
Punched out by Mark Luther.
If you're Billerica, that's the momentum shift that you need. Peebles has done a nice job. We've seen pretty much all year holding the ball. We haven't seen too many fumbles from this team.
So Timothy Murphy coming back out. Peebles was initially tripped and then the ball came out. Nonetheless, Billerica takes over at the BR 34-yard line. And pitch goes to the outside here, and that should be enough for a first down thanks to the run by Daniel Venezia.
Number 14 on the carry, Daniel Venezia.
Venezia right now proving to be Billerica's one of their more effective runners here, as he's able to make a move outside. A good run from the running back.
Venezia 26 yards rushing on 6 carries. Billerica now faces a 2nd and short after the Adrian Peebles fumble. And the keeper looks like straight through the middle there. Was that? Nope, that was actually to Venezia. Kind of difficult to see as he goes right through all those white jerseys, but nonetheless, that will move the chains here with about 5 minutes to go.
It's all misdirection. John once again just finding his way up the middle. Looked like he was tripped up because nobody had touched him right up the middle.
You said down. Again, a short gain here that'll go to about the 16, 17-yard line. But again, these short yardage situations at least draining the clock down, as that was another handoff to Venezia.
And we've seen BR do a nice job in this game of stopping that misdirection type run. But Billerica's offense picking up a little bit here in this drive.
There's a little life added to them after that fumble. And again, a short pickup there for Jackson Guerin. As again, I'm getting thrown off by all these misdirections.
You can see here it was a pitch initially to Venezia and then right to Guerin. We saw that in their first drive. They did the same thing, which actually lost them a couple of yards.
Pulled down by Drew Sylvia, but it brings up a 3rd and 5 inside of 4 minutes to go in this first half. Murphy going to roll to his right, looking downfield. That is going to be complete inside the 10 into the hands of Jackson Guerin. The second passing play of the night for Billerica.
And the first one that is completed, a rollout once again. The only really type of pass you can see out of this type of offense. Gearin does a nice job on that out route to get open and get upfield. Now Billerica has a chance to cut the lead in half.
First completion of the night for Timothy Murphy. As the Trojans faithful gets behind their hometown team. First and goal for the Indians. Murphy gets the push straight through the middle to about the 2 or the 3 yard line.
Quarterback holds on to the ball, pushes it forward a little bit.
This is just a simple quarterback sneak, takes the snap, goes up right away.
It'll be second down.
All great push up front from this offensive line.
A 3-yard gain up to the 3 yard line, so second and goal for Billerica. And their senior quarterback, Timothy Murphy, as we mentioned, a talented high school athlete for the visitors here. Second and goal, and into the end zone for the touchdown. A 3-yard rush for Daniel Venezia. As Billerica pulls to within a score with 2:33 to go in the second quarter.
That turnover coming up huge. You can see it. Venezia just getting the handoff from Murphy. Murphy leading the way on that one. And Billerica's right back in this thing.
Venezia coming on to add on the 7th point, and he does. So on his 9th carry of the night, Daniel Venezia makes it a 14-7 game, capitalizing on the fumble by Adrian Peebles.
And it's tough as a defense, especially after coming right off the field, just to go right back on one play later.
As you see the coaching staff for Billerica. Also includes a quarterback coach who was the Gatorade National Player of the Year back in 2009. See Knutson and Reed awaiting the kick. Again, really no wind to speak of here at the regional, just temperatures in the 30s.
It's going to be too many men on the field for Billerica. I counted 6 guys on one side.
As Brendan Santos figured that out and stepped out ahead and kind of tried asking who's supposed to be out there, and it looks like it's number 4, Nick Kanjamila, who's not supposed to be out there.
So
and over end into the hands of Reed, who goes across the 25. Reed cuts the corner. Dylan Reed, nice return across the 40 to the 42.
Reed got there in a flash, able to scoop it off of 2 bounces. Was able to get upfield. Reed's ability in open space is very scary for defenses.
So does Ian Bain go right back to Adrian Peebles here to have him a chance to get over that fumble that he turned over?
The worst thing you can do as a coach is shun a player for making mistakes. Football, it happens. You make mistakes, you go right back to that player, allow him to regain his confidence.
They're going to fake the handoff. Lambert looking downfield for Blake. He is not going to get it. Incomplete. Santos there in the secondary, keeping Blake from getting his first reception of the night.
We saw a great catch last week from Blake. Lambert right back into the play action. Looked for the long ball. It hit his hands and just could not corral it.
The first incompletion of the night for Jack Lambert. Started out 4 of 4, but has had stretches where he's completed 9 straight attempts. Four for 5, 47 yards passing for the senior quarterback. Read the motion man, gets the quick pitch as he cuts to the near side, and he gets tripped up out of bounds, again taken out by Santos.
That one stops the clock there. A little toss pass. Billerica once again doing a nice job setting that edge, not giving up much space on the outside.
Still 2:13 to go. Billerica has all 3 timeouts. Right now the Trojans face a 3rd and 6. Lambert has the time, completes that one into Billerica territory, into the hands of Billerica for his 3rd reception of the night at the 42.
So it's going against Billerica. So roughing the passer after the completion. Look to be on number 33, Daniel Kinsella. It's a great pass here from Lambert. It's a deep comeback route on the outside. Billerica running more of a zone there on that 3rd down. As Billerica is able to get wide open, nobody near him.
So BR picks up a bonus 15 off the roughing the passer call to the 26.
It's all before the 2-minute warning. Correction, there is not.
That's an issue with the NFL as a whole altogether. As Peebles gets the carry on 1st down, the new set of downs, puts his head down, and it's going to be just shy, it looks like, of the 1st down marker across the 17.
And this is the first carry we've seen from Peebles since the fumble. Right up the gut there. Does a nice job. His eyes downfield.
Fake on the near side. 2nd and a yard to go. That pass complete to Reed. He bounces off a couple of defenders, pulled down at the 14-yard line by Jackson Guerin.
It looked like Billerica on the outside was initially supposed to block. The corner could not. Reed does a nice job staying up on his feet.
Picking up the pace here. Peebles lowers the shoulder into the end zone. That's how you answer back in a playoff game. Adrian Peebles, a 17-yard run to the house to make it 20-7.
Peebles with his 2nd touchdown on the day. And we talked about it. The confidence of Peebles after the fumble. That's a huge confidence boost right there.
There's yards after contact, and there's borderline looking for the contact as Peebles did getting into the end zone. As Allen puts through the 21st point of the night with 73 seconds to go. Thanks to that guy right there, number 23, Adrian Peebles.
Peebles just has done a nice job since Lewis has been out. It was a great day so far on the ground.
There was a stretch there where he was picking up 3 or 4 yards a carry, but then he stepped it up for 13, 15, and obviously that last play for about 17 yards. And again, a potential problem for opposing teams is the fact that he and the starting running back, Braden Lewis, both of them are juniors. As the BR rushing pipeline continues. A low kick, again into the hands of Santos, and he'll get pulled down that time by number 41, Jake Spearin.
Once again, just going back to that squib kick, not giving those guys deep to have even a chance to return the football.
Minute 8 left to go here in the first half. Again, Billerica has all 3 of their timeouts remaining, but again, this has been an offense in the Indians that we really haven't seen a lot of passing. It's been all about the running game.
We've seen 1 completed pass all game from Billerica. And just because their pass game isn't working, BR obviously expecting to run. Don't expect them to not go back to that run game.
First play from offense, a quick pitch and a decent pickup there for number 3. That's Jackson Guerin, who makes his way to the 42, so about a 4-yard gain.
Just a pitch. Murphy leading the charge. And Guerin just finding some space right in the middle. A good carry there.
Time ticking down. Billerica electing to not use a timeout after that first down carry. With the clock going inside of 40 seconds to go. It looks like the Indians may just have to take this 14-point deficit into the halftime break. Again, the Indians slowly get back to the line of scrimmage. Inside of 20 seconds to go here in the first half. Pitch goes to Peck, and Peck will get stopped in his tracks by Rotondo.
As Rotondo's 3rd tackle for loss on the day. He's having one heck of a game here for the Trojans.
So Billerica had all 3 of their timeouts, did not elect to use one of them, and will go into halftime down 14, 21-7. Zach, it's been the offense thanks to the rushing attack. More importantly, once again, Adrian Peebles.
Peebles just a phenomenal half. Besides the one fumble, comes back the next drive, bounces back, a couple of long runs, and then finding his way towards the end zone. And if you're a high school player, that's how you want to bounce back.
21-7, Bridgewater Rainham looking to punch their ticket to the state semifinal for the first time in 8 years. Will they do it? We'll find out in the second half, which comes your way in just a little bit here on BTV.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get those tickets ready, those raffle tickets ready. We're going to have our guest speaker give out the number for the winning raffle ticket.
6350264.
Y'all got quiet. Anybody winner? You want us to read that again? We'll read that one more time.
6350264.
6350264. We have a winner. Come on up and claim your prize. Thank you for supporting Bridgewater football. Folks, we're after the work on the walking out. I want to work on the walking out.
Halfway home in this Division II quarterfinal matchup, the Bridgewater Rainham Trojans in front 21-7. John Luck along with Zach Sylvia in the first half, Zach, that was dominated by the running game, more specifically the running game of number 23, Adrian Peebles, who has 96 yards on 15 carries and 2 touchdowns as well.
And we saw this kind of last week. Peebles, 9 carries, 99 yards, so almost hitting the century mark before half, and then especially in the run game where BR has been so dominant in these last couple of years, exactly where you want to be in this half. Obviously, the fumble not helping your defense after giving up 7 points. So instead of a 21-0 game, there's a 21-7 game here.
So the winner of this matchup will take on the winner of Bishop Feian and Chelmsford. And the last update we have was from a little while ago, but at the end of the first, it was Feian in front 14-0. So a lot of people are already predicting that you're going to have Bishop Fee move on, as well as Catholic Memorial. It is worth noting again that those two teams actually had a bye in the first round because enough teams didn't qualify for the 16-team field. So Bishop Fee getting their first postseason matchup of the night, as is Catholic Memorial. And we talked a little bit earlier in this postseason last week, the fact that I was interested to see whether Fee or Memorial would have a hard time getting going early, but obviously with Fee up 14-0, that's not the case.
For sure, and it's tough to come out after a bye week and get off to a hot start. But if BR is able to come away with this game, I believe that's where they will have the edge, just because they have played more games. They're a lot more warmed up, as they say.
And in the other top matchup, Catholic Memorial up 19-0 over Wellesley. That game also, last check, at the end of the first quarter. But here at the regional, 21-7, we see the visiting Billerica Indians coming back out. And we were talking during the halftime break that this is a real throwback offense. Our director, Mike Moriello, in the truck pointed out that for longtime Bridgewater-Rainham viewers, this was actually the typical offense for Dan Buron in the late 90s, early 2000s. And, of course, those were some very positive years for the Trojans as they won a couple of Super Bowl titles, including one against the Brockton Boxers, a team who the Trojans will face coming up on Thanksgiving morning. And that'll be the next time we'll see you here on BTV. As win or lose, this is our final postseason game for the BR Trojans. NFHS will take over for the regional final. If they go to Gillette Stadium, who knows? Craft Productions could take over. Maybe we could have that great tasting clam chowder in the Patriots press box. I still remember the first year BTV went to Gillette Stadium to cover the Super Bowl. It was a snow game. It was a rainy day that just turned into snow just in time for the BR Gloucester matchup. And sure, BR lost, but we got to say we did a snow football game at Gillette Stadium. And at the end of the night, Gary Tangway, who was the play-by-play announcer for the TV 38 broadcast, came out, stormed through, and shouldered me into the wall. So that's my story.
Did he really?
He did.
On purpose?
I doubt it. I mean, after calling 8 or 9 high school Super Bowls, maybe that was like a 12-hour day that just caught up. Or, I mean, I am hard to miss. As you see Ian Bain out on the field. And what do you think that halftime break was like for the Trojans? Obviously up 21-7, but there were some obviously miscues that the Trojans had in that first half.
And we saw this especially later on in the second quarter. Billerica's offense was able to pick it up more in the run game. So Bain telling his players, don't settle down, don't be satisfied at the point you are. And one thing I was told as a player, it starts out 0-0 every half, so you have to win the half. Win each quarter, play by play, down by down. Do not settle.
To end the first half last week, the BR Trojans were up 35-0. Obviously, this game a little bit closer, but they are going to start off on offense as they did last week. As Fian has entered halftime, they are up 14-0 over the 10C Chelmsford. Trying to keep tabs on that one as we go on here, but we get the second half underway. End over end as dicey catch there. Sidestepping a defender across the 30 and being pulled out of bounds. That's number 25, Ryan Alves, with the nice return.
It looked like Reed was coming up for that ball, but Alves was able to make the catch. Could have been a little disastrous right there, but a good return there. It's good starting field position.
Reed almost caught the ball, and Alves. See Jack Lambert leading his Trojans teammates back out to the field, has Peebles in the backfield. Reed and Billerica on the near side. Peebles gets things going to start the second half. Slips again, the second time tonight. Adrian Peebles has slipped. About a 3-yard gain to the 38-yard line.
And you mentioned that we've seen Peebles trip maybe 4 or 5 times here today. You wonder maybe some conditions on the field.
It hasn't really rained here at the high school. But again, that was the second time Peebles got tripped up or slipped. But nonetheless, a 2nd and 7. Lambert, nice pass to Reed, who cuts across the middle as Dylan Reed fights his way into Billerica territory to the 47-yard line to move the chains about a minute into the second half.
Second time we've seen this play right to Reed, doing a nice job, great blocking, and a great job by the offensive line getting to that second level and giving Reed some room to work.
Lambert going for Kelly, looking for their second highlight level catch in 2 games, but incomplete there for Lambert's second incompletion of the evening.
BR going tempo here. Wanted Blake downfield, almost corralled it with his left hand. Would have been a very tough catch initially as it was in double coverage.
Jack Lambert, 7 for 9 passing for 69 yards. Pitch goes to Peebles on the near side, gets wrapped up and pulled out of bounds by number 5, Ethan Mbali, and a flag comes out.
2 flags. Wonder who this is on. I believe this happened after the play occurred.
I mean, typically on the sidelines when you have the referees meeting like that, perhaps some stuff that happened after the play, I wonder.
Looked like they were pointing in BR's direction, so this might be against the Trojans. Personal foul on both teams, so it's going to be offsetting penalties. See, here's a nice run by Peebles. You can see it right there in the kind of in the background. Look like the center. Spencer Kilsby, one of the other Billerica players, getting tangled up there.
So after all that, a 3rd and 6 facing the BR Trojans. As Lambert looks over to Bain for the last second adjustments. This time moving Peebles, a running back, to Lambert's left, now back to the right. Hand off to Peebles, gets the blocking across the 40. Peebles sidestepping defenders across the 35-yard line.
This is great awareness from Peebles. Not seeing anything to the outside. Good pin down block there from Kelly. Cuts it upfield, gets another first down for this BR offense, who's right now moving the ball very methodically.
So the personal foul, simply just some pushing and shoving, but that is to be expected here in a quarterfinal matchup, with the winner moving on to the Division II Final Four a week from tonight. You set it down, same handoff goes to Peebles, sidestepping and again moving the chains. How about Adrian Peebles with some nice runs as he makes his way to the 20-yard line, picking up another 15.
There's a great run from Peebles, going up tempo here with the offense, just creating space.
If it's not broke, don't fix it as a flag comes in. Peebles goes to the near side. He's going to be pulled down, but again, that may be getting pulled back, and that is the case, as holding will be called against the BR Trojans with 9:11 to go in the 3rd quarter.
I believe that's the first penalty against BR. The second. It was a good run from Peebles, and you can see there, right, the referee saw that one immediately. Good call there.
So I want to thank our viewers on YouTube for helping us out with some of the score updates. Looks like Fian, as I mentioned, winning 14-0, but Catholic Memorial increasing their lead just a little bit now, 40-0.
A little bit.
Had to be nice about it. As that pass is complete to Finn Kelly, another flag comes in. As Kelly got pulled down shy of the first down marker, but again, we're going to wait to see what the flag is, and it's going to go on Billerica, looks like. Nope, against BR. Referee pointed the other way for a second.
So it's an eligible man downfield. You can see there the center gets 5 yards upfield even before the pass is off. And Coach Bain furious right now, not happy at all. Back-to-back penalties.
You have to think these are the drives that really drive coaches mad. After some promising plays, when the offense is clicking in the first half, back-to-back penalties now, 1st and 23. At this point, you almost need a highlight play just to make up some of the penalty yardage. Handoff goes to Peebles, and he'll get wrapped up and pulled down by Ethan Mabali.
This is a great push up front, immediately gets through the hole, swallows up Peebles. I believe they lost more yardage on that play.
The first negative play for the BR Trojans on offense here tonight. Blake on the near side. As Lambert sets back, and he completes that one to Billerica past the 25-yard line. As the Trojans make up some of that penalty yardage back, but still a 3rd and long upcoming.
This looked to be about a 13-yard completion here. Just a 10-yard out route. It's a great design there, and good job by Billerica to get open, giving BR a chance at a first down.
4 receptions for 40 yards for Billerica. And get a timeout called by Billerica with 7:29 to go. Opportunity here for the Billerica coaches to maybe perhaps reset the defense as they face a 3rd and 13, trying to get the ball back and get the ball in the hands of the offense, down 2 scores for the moment.
And if you're Billerica, the biggest thing right now is you need to stop defensively. You cannot be going down 3 scores, especially in a playoff game. That difficulty, just being able to come back, it's hard enough. If you're coming out for Billerica, you need a stop on this defensive end, possibly forcing another turnover.
And so far, the offense that Billerica has had, obviously if you go down 3 scores and you're picking up between 4 to 7 yards on each rush, obviously going to take a while to try and make up potentially 3 scores. Coming out of the timeout, a 3rd and 13. Lambert after the double pump going downfield. Nice catch by Finn Kelly inside the 10 at the 6.
That is an unbelievable back shoulder throw to Kelly. This is a fade route right on the sideline. Kelly does a nice job planting his feet and getting the catch for a 1st and goal. Goes right back to him.
Finn Kelly gets another reception, and this time gets a touchdown. 6-yard reception for the tight end.
And why not? He makes the play, the previous catch. Give it right back to him on a simple flat route. Has to make one cut. And an easy walk in there for Kelly.
Allen on for the PAT. After quite the roller coaster drive for the BR offense, the PAT is good. The Trojans faced a 2nd and 23, a 3rd and 23, and after a nice grab by Kelly along the sidelines, gets the reception for 6 yards, and just like that, BR in front 28-7. After the first drive of this 3rd quarter.
And if you're Billerica, that is heartbreaking right there. You had your opponent deep and lost about 13 to 15 yards on penalties alone, and you still allow the score. Not good, and especially with, you said, the offense that they run.
Especially coming out of the timeout, you gave up the 15-yard reception, then you give up the touchdown reception. So a bigger backbreaker for the Indians defense. That gets bounced around, picked up by Santos around the 20-yard line. Ball came loose, still moving around, but the Trojans recover at the 34. But they're going to call it recovered by Billerica. It looked like number 22 for the BR Trojans, Lucas Oliver, came up with it.
This play looked like a disaster from the start. That ball clearly out, gets knocked around. Looked like BR had it for the moment, and I think Barnard just lost it in the pile. A lucky break there for the Indians.
That very easily could have been the season for Billerica right there. So after that quick scare, Indians take over on offense and start things off with a nice drive to move the chains up to the 45. Nice run there by Guerin.
This just a pitch right to Guerin. Murphy leading the charge right out of the pitch once again. And we've seen this great push up front from this Billerica offensive line. They've been able to get a good push. We saw especially late in that second quarter when on their scoring drive.
The longest play of the night for the Indians, an 11-yard carry by Jackson Guerin. Guerin again with the carry, fighting into BR territory, this time to the 49 to pick up about 5 or so on the run.
If the play worked before, why not go right back to it, right back up the middle? Not as much, but good yardage once again.
6 carries for 26 yards for Jackson Guerin, a junior on this Indians team. As we go inside of 6 minutes in this third quarter. Trojans open up the half on a touchdown reception. Lambert to Kelly from 6 yards out. Billerica looking to answer back as Murphy goes through the middle for a couple yards on the play.
This is a fake pitch. Murphy keeping that one, gets a nice amount of yards, cuts back towards the middle. It's great blocking again. And a lot of credit to this Billerica front line. They've been fighting all day long.
A big 3rd and 2 upcoming for the visitors. The 6th seed, Billerica. Again, last week they were held scoreless. It was actually a scoreless game at the half against Beverly, but Indians came back to answer and win that matchup 20-0. But right now, looking to continue this drive on a 3rd and 2. Quick pitch to Spearin, and he's going to be short, so that's going to bring up 4th and short for Guerin.
Both teams knew the run were coming. Question was, who's going to win it on that one? BR coming in heavy with a blitz and giving it maybe a half inch there.
In this type of situation, it's always about that hard count. As the BR crowd getting louder here at the regional.
Ian Bain firing up the crowd.
This is postseason football here. 4th and short for Billerica. Guerin along the far side picks up the first down, picking up extra yardage across the 35-yard line to quiet the BR faithful out at the 31.
Bridgewater loading the box. This allowing the outside. Nobody there to set the edge for the Trojans. As Guerin wisely bounces that to the outside. And another big first down pickup for Billerica.
So for the moment, the Indians have taken Red Nation out of this game, but they are getting closer and closer to that part of the field. Again, the double pitch. This time, Guerin takes it through the middle, and he'll get wrapped up and pulled down in the middle of the field.
It's the third time they've gone to this pitch handoff, and that being the most effective time so far here today.
Gabe Ocampo going to get credited with the stop there. After the pickup of about 4 yards. There's now Guerin starting to add up the yards on this drive.
That's going to be a false start. The fullback flinched on that one, Jaden Montillo.
So I believe that is the first penalty going on Billerica here in this game in the third quarter with 2:48 to go.
See it right there, that slight forward lean right at the beginning of the play. It doesn't matter how much lean there is. If there's any lean at all, they'll get you.
2nd and 11, QB keep by Murphy as he eludes a couple of tackle attempts. How about this run by the quarterback across the 20 to the 19-yard line? Nice run by Timothy Murphy.
He might have avoided almost half of the defense on that run right there. A great run from Murphy. Fakes the pitch, able to cut inside, bouncing back outside, breaks 1 tackle, 2 tackles, avoids another 3 tackles, and then eventually gets brought down. But doing a nice job, the field awareness from Murphy on that carry. Unbelievable.
Can't imagine the stress levels of Billerica fans right now watching this drive alone, as they're trying to keep up with the BR Trojans offense here inside the final 2 minutes of the third. Straight through the middle to pick up a couple yards to the 16-yard line. After some trickery that was taken by number 14, Daniel Venezia.
Venezia once again just picking up positive yards.
His first carry of the second half, now up to 10 carries for 48 yards to go along with a touchdown.
If you're Billerica right now, with just about 1:10 remaining, you need a score to stay into this game. A stop here for the BR defense could end up being huge.
Ocampo checking back in. Guerin was motioning around, but they're going to go with Venezia again, who's going to get met by the BR defense at the 14-yard line, so about a 3-yard gain for number 14.
And right now, Venezia just one of the gets more handoffs we've seen here today. I believe that's his 11th. So most of the bell cow work here today. But it's been a good mixture of running backs here for Billerica.
We mentioned that this Billerica Indians team has been a team that's been predicated on the run. As the clock will continue to tick down inside of 15 seconds. The official's arm is up. And a timeout called by the Indians with 10 seconds to go in the third quarter.
See, now this is interesting to me. Now, in the second half, before the fourth quarter, you only have 1 timeout remaining. And if they're able to somehow get back in this game, you wonder how much this could come back to bite them.
Perhaps this is also the coaching staff realizing that this drive is really make or break for the Indians, so exhaust any means necessary to try and make it at least a 2-possession game entering the fourth quarter. This is almost uncharted territory for us here at the high school to have a game in the second half that has been running time, as really this BR offense has been running roughshod all season long.
Well, that's part of their game plan, too. A lot of handoffs, and we said 4 to 7 yards almost on each carry. It's going to take up a lot of time off the clock. Just trying to waste time. Time of possession definitely in favor of Billerica here today.
Got the fullback in there, Jaden Montijo, number 41. On third down. Again, a little bit of trickery here, but BR will not be tricked to end the third quarter.
And guess who blows this one up? Senior Joseph LaFleur. And he looked like he initially thought the other back had the ball, but be able to recognize and come up and make the tackle for loss. A big stop on third down there for the Trojans.
A 7-yard loss will end the third quarter, as Ian Bain can breathe for just a moment with his Trojans up 28-7 entering the final quarter here in this Division II quarterfinal. Again, the winner of this game will take on the winner of Bishop Fien and Chelmsford. That game in the second half. Try an effort on a update here, but again, our friends on YouTube have been doing a great job. I want to thank everybody for tuning in live for this quarterfinal matchup. The 6th seed, the Billerica Indians, getting set to start this fourth quarter with a monster play here. 4th and 13 from the 22-yard line.
And now you're almost forced into a passing situation here if you're Billerica. As they come out with a tight end and a trips right formation and a single receiver near side.
This is Daniel Valencia going to be throwing here on 4th down, or at least trying to. Rolling out to his right, gets pulled out of bounds by Nick Rotondo.
Rotondo, have yourself a game. Basically spying the ends of the entire way towards the sideline. And that was great coverage by the BR secondary, not giving up any room of space, forcing that turnover on downs.
So we ask and we shall receive, thanks to our friends on YouTube. Bishop Fien up 20-0 right now, so if the scores hold, it would be BR taking on Bishop Fien in the Division II semifinals. Of course, with all roads most likely leading to a matchup against Catholic Memorial, the team that eliminated BR last year. Right now, Lambert and the BR offense back out on the field. Adrian Peebles through the middle for about a 1-yard gain, but time ticking down now.
Hand off to Peoples right in the middle. It's a great tackle there by the defensive ends. Look to be Daniel Kinsella once again making another tackle.
5 carries for 31 yards for Peebles here in the second half. Again with the ground game through the middle, runs into a couple of players, including one of his own teammates, but still enough to eat up a few more yards and a few more seconds on this fourth quarter clock.
If you're BR right now, because you're up by 3 scores, the best thing you can do is run this clock as much as you can. And with no play clock, you can definitely get a nice 7-8 minute drive here.
And Billerica can only stop the clock one more time. They're down to 1 timeout. As Peebles tries to split the defenders, but going to be very close to that first down marker.
Now it looked like ended up shy. So this is interesting territory here for BR. The question is now on this 4th and short, do you go for it or do you punt the ball?
So we're going to bring the sticks out here. throwing the clock back. We're so used to looking at a video board now to play Family Feud, but the question is how short was Adrian Peebles on the carry, if he was at all. Perfect angle by our camera operators there. Gonna be short by about 3 inches.
So again, going back to that question, do you go for it here? Risk Billerica starting out with the ball. It looks like they went backwards. Looks like they moved back a couple of yards.
Well, you mentioned earlier the fact that really there's no obviously automated play clock here. We're kind of at the referee's discretion, but does Ian Bain maybe play with that mentality there, get Lambert for a couple of hard counts and potentially use a timeout? As the Trojans, 4th and inches.
Look for Peebles to either get a quick handoff here, trying to bounce it maybe outside. You see a bunch formation, 4 receivers right or to Lambert's left.
Official's arm goes up. They go for it on 4th down. Peebles will get the first down. Dicey play call there, but it turns out good for the BR Trojans, and a pickup of about 5 for number 23.
And why not give it to the guy who's already over the century mark? This just allows BR to continue and let that clock drain.
140 yards rushing on 23 carries. Again, Peebles last week 151 rushing yards. Going inside of 10 minutes remaining. That pass completed to Reed along the flat. Going to pick up about a yard or so on the play. But again, the clock will move inside of 9 minutes.
This is a great tackle by Jabari Sozi, as Billerica just missed his block on the outside.
Trips to Lambert's right here on the 2nd down and 9. Again, same play to Reed, who will tiptoe the sideline and step out around the 45-yard line. So a 3rd and 4 upcoming for the BR Trojans.
I like the play call here. Go right back to your speedster, giving him a chance to work in space. Able to get positive yards on that one, and now it's a 3rd and manageable.
5 receptions, 46 yards for Dylan Reed. We approach 8.5 to go, a 3rd and 4 as Peebles sidesteps defenders and shoulders his way into Billerica territory.
It's a big first down there for Peebles. And once again, just allowing BR to continue to drain the clock.
Carry number 24 for Adrian Peebles. As family watching this one, including here at the high school, including Antron Peebles, a member of the Tennessee Volunteers championship squad from the 90s. Actually played offensive line for Peyton Manning. Fun fact. As Peebles goes off tackle across the 45, Peebles again with force, picking up another first down.
It looked like the referee was saying he was staying in bounds, and this is great blocking by Reed and Billerica on the outside. This just allows Peebles to get that edge on that run.
How important could a player like Peebles be when we get into next week and the BR Trojans potentially take on a team like Bishop B in there? Obviously, the intensity is going to increase and the passing game could come into play more. But how important could Peebles be when it comes to the play calling on offense?
Peebles could be huge, and we've said it now, almost 300 yards combined between 2 games in the playoffs. I believe this is his first playoff with the Trojans. So Peebles can come absolutely huge, and we still don't know about Lewis, who could also be coming back.
And Peebles picks up another couple yards or so. Again, if you're just joining us, Adrian Peebles actually the second running back on the depth chart. The top running back for the Trojans for most of the season has been Braden Lewis, another junior running back.
BR's done a nice job this drive. Around 6 minutes, 4 to 6 minutes wasted just running the ball. We haven't seen a pass yet, and we don't expect to anytime soon.
Actually have had a couple of short passes to Dylan Reed, but nonetheless, it's been mostly the run game as Adrian Peebles has taken this game over, fights his way to the 19, so a 14-yard gain again.
Just keep running and running that ball. Peebles once again, another big carry. It almost looks like he's looking for the contact.
27th carry of his night. Actually going back to the last touchdown he scored as he was going into the end zone. He kind of lowered his shoulder and just took on that contact, as he said.
Looked very Cam Scattaboo-ish.
Continuing to wind down, approaching 5.5 to go here in the fourth. Peebles to the far side, and he continues to just pick up relatively short yardage here, but it'll bring up a second down play and a pickup of 7.
Peebles, his awareness is unbelievable, especially as a junior, just be able to find space as they go up tempo.
And who else would take it as a flag does come in?
And I believe this one's going to be going against the Trojans. So holding on the outside.
And when we think about the running game for the BR Trojans, we kind of alluded to it at the start of the second half. This has been something that goes back to the early Dan Biron days. It's been all about the running backs. You go back to the likes of Pat Omar or Sean Noel or Brendan Gallagher or Nick Schlatz.
Flag on the play by PR, moving the ball back. We'll start that down again.
All running backs that pick up about 15 to 20 carries, a couple touchdowns on the game, really taking advantage of what the offensive line brings them.
And we definitely have to give credit to this BR offensive line. 300 yards in 2 playoff games from a single running back who has gotten a majority of the workload for this offense. Give all credit to them, that front 5, giving Peebles the room to work.
Peebles gets the pitch and will fight his way to the 16-yard line to pick up about 5 on the play. But when we talk about offensive line play as well, let's talk about the protection for Jack Lambert and the fact that if you're running the ball, he's not having to throw the ball.
Indeed so, and every pass play, I don't believe we've seen Lambert get sacked too many times this year. To be honest, I'm thinking about it now. I'm not.
Tonight it's just been the one roughing the passer call, but obviously that's not a sack.
No, it is indeed not. And even going back to the regular season, they didn't give up too much against defenses.
3rd and 7 with that drive you were talking about, a drive that eats up a lot of clock. Approaching 3.5. Peebles actually bounces off of Dylan Reed, but picking up positive yardage. It'll be a couple yards shy, though, picking up about 5 or 6 on the play.
Well, that's one way to do it. Using Reed and just trying to bounce outside. Able to get a couple initially after being stopped. And now you wonder, if you're BR, do you just kick it here or do you try and pick up the fourth down? See Lambert talking to Ian Bain there on the sideline.
191 rushing yards unofficially for Adrian Peebles. With my quick class of 08 math. Lambert gonna throw on 4th down, hits number 4, and he'll get tripped up at the 2-yard line, but again, picking up yardage and winding down the clock, and the Trojans going to play with tempo here as we approach 2.5 to go.
All pass plays have been to Reed so far in this drive.
Handoff to Peebles, and he'll get wrapped up and pulled down by Mark Luther, number 44, as we approach 2 minutes to go.
Go right back to that pass play to Reed. We can see him coming in motion, just running a simple flat route to the outside. And it's a good tackle there because breaks that one tackle, that's a touchdown.
Trojans have their sights set on the state semifinal, being one of the final 4 teams here in Division II. Early jump going on Billerica.
So we have 1st and goal now for BR. So you wonder now, with a minute 50 left, do you actually punch it in here, or do you just take the knee and take the win?
Approaching the end of the 3rd quarter for Bishop Vian, still up by 3 scores. As Trojans fans starting to celebrate here again. This is the final postseason game for the BR Trojans here at the Regional. They'll play next week in a neutral site game. And for the first time in 8 seasons, the BR Trojans will advance to the state semifinal, taking down Billerica 28-7, led by the efforts of a junior running back, Adrian Peebles, approaching 200 rushing yards.
Looks like he'll probably just come up just a little bit shy of that, but nonetheless, an unbelievable day there from Peebles as they move on to the semifinals.
Bridgewater Rainham will earn their 7th win for the first time since 2017. A Trojans team that has championship aspirations, but the road only gets harder from here. Bridgewater Rainham is one of Final 4 teams with a chance at the Division II championship. They will take down Billerica 28-7. As they will depart for the road, and potentially a road that could end at Gillette Stadium after a win here in the Division II quarterfinal. The BR Trojans, an opportunity after the game. They will most likely take a team photo with a Final 4 banner, but still an impressive showing by this Bridgewater Rainham team. And when we talk about depth, we talked about it at the beginning. Depth is what you need when you get to this stage in the season.
Especially so, and we can't stop talking about him enough. Peebles almost putting up 200 yards, and this is without their top running back, Braden Lewis. And with him possibly coming back next week, adding another weapon to this Trojans offense.
So once again, this is our final playoff broadcast here for the BR Trojans. You can catch the semifinal game on NFHS as you see them gathering around the athletic director, Bill O'Donnell, and he is unveiling a banner that this team was hoping to unveil a long time ago. The BR Trojans are Final 4 bound. And this is a team that truly believes that they have a chance at perhaps going much further than this point. Congratulations to Ian Bain, this Bridgewater Rainham Trojans football team, their 7th win of the season. Again, the first time that's been accomplished since 2017, which was also their last appearance in a state semifinal round. So your final score, once again, 28-7. We will see you again coming up on Thanksgiving morning, but Once again, good luck to the Trojans next week. For Zach Sylvia, I'm John Luck. Thanks for watching.